Let me get the fart app ready.
Is that going to be a thing for the show?
It's gonna be a thing for like Oddities shows. Period. Now.
All right. Well, hey guys, welcome to Babetalk.
Hey.
Hello.
Yeah, this week we're coming in like HD sound because Google actually likes us this week. I think it's because we actually got a little bit legit. We'll make announcements later, but right now we're just gonna make an announcement that we have Carlos from Oddities on the show tonight.
What's up?
Yeah, this is exciting, and for
I'm
the
pretty
first
excited, too.
time, I cut you right off. I'm way too excited.
Oh no, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
So for the first time in like 9 weeks, at least with me, Eric made a return, but it wasn't official until I came back. Eric Navarro, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, everybody.
Hey. And we have Ashley and Nicole, of course.
Hello.
And we have Alex North.
I'm just riding on everybody's coattails today.
Alex, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean for it to sound like that.
No. You've said enough, Ollie.
Alex always riding on coattails. So we start off the show every week by asking individuals how their day was. And today we're going to go with Carlos.
Oh, my day. High school. So
Oh, yeah, and
Enough
you
said.
told me
I'm a
that you were
senior
still
in
in
high school. So
How's coasting?
What's up?
He doesn't want to talk about it, Mom.
Don't want
Excuse
to
me.
talk about it.
Sorry, I apologize.
I'm just a kid and life
No,
is a
it's a
nightmare.
nightmare. I'm just a kid, and I know that it's not fair. We should get a
Dude,
sing-along going for
No
that.
one really understands me like Simple Plan.
When is
Do you
Mallcore
have
gonna make a
any
revival?
We should. Wait, what core?
Mallcore, you know, like early
Mallcore.
2000s. Yep.
Hey, Mikey Fraser from Random Holidays is watching this right now. What's up, Mikey?
Hi, Mikey.
Get some shout-outs going. It's kind of like a black radio station.
He
They're
just
like, "Yo, I
texted
see
me
you
to
out
tell
there."
me he's watching.
There you go. So, did you have like any specific classes that you did, Carlos?
Actually, I go to. Okay, I do not like. I don't like agree with my school, but I go to a Catholic high school, so
Oh.
I get an entire class dedicated to Jesus rules. Shut the fuck up. So
That sounds.
Jesus
so-
rules,
I
shut the
can't even
fuck
like
up.
be.
The
I can't even be
class.
sarcastic about that.
No,
That's just not fun.
my freshman year class, we had this theology teacher who would tell like go on these long rants about how my particular favorite rant was Shrek is basically the Antichrist being represented through like the media, and he went on this big rant. It was fun.
It was eye-opening, is what it was.
That's
what it
sounds
was,
like
dude.
Very
I'm sorry.
enlightening.
I'm sorry. Back the fuck up. Shrek.
Shrek
Was like the
is-
number one field trip movie because it's so like G-rated, but like it's still funny enough that everyone didn't mind watching it on like a 2-hour bus ride. But like,
Yo, when it came to field trip movies, it was all about Spy Kids 3D.
Dude, that
how did you watch
movie
a
was
3D
shit.
movie?
I remember one time I watched that movie in like we all went to the mall for like a field trip to go to like because they had an IMAX theater before IMAX theaters were like a big deal. So we went to like the Palisades Mall and we all because I went to a small private school, we all had to pile into like all like these minivans of like all these like teachers and parents and stuff. And the kid whose mom was driving us had like one of those like DVD things, and so we watched Spy Kids 3D, and it was awesome. It
That's
was one of my
rad.
best
Dude, I
like
saw that movie
elementary,
in
middle school
theaters. It was
memories.
The shit. Oh, I cut you off.
Oh my
Sorry, dude.
god, the first Spy Kids was so good.
I honestly can't remember any of them besides the oh man, what was it? I think the first one. I think like she was like, oh, like you're full of shit talking much.
Oh
It's,
my
like, all
god!
the fucking skeletons are
Every
like,
sixth grader said that into oblivion, thinking they were the coolest thing ever. Like,
Literally.
oh my god, this teacher sucks shit, talking mushrooms, and you're like, that doesn't even make sense. Like, even in like your sixth grade language, doesn't make sense.
It drove me crazy. It was
No.
absolutely
It
awful.
was
Do you
important
guys
movie.
remember? Was it the first or second movie that had the weird like hand people?
The
Second.
first one, the
Second one?
thumbs.
Yeah, the thumb. That shit was weird, dude. Oh
Ashley,
my
no,
God.
Ashley was right on that. It's like the thumb
You don't
people-
understand. I actually might have watched that movie like recently. Why is it so like clear in my mind? I don't know. I just really love that movie.
Well,
I watched the second one at least like 5 times, like in like one day when I was like 6.
Hey,
Also-
I mean, it's a kids movie, so I guess it's one that we would watch. Alex North, how was your day, man?
Well, today I had work off, which was pretty nice. So I sat at home and I played Sunset Overdrive like all day. Just like
Oh,
just like hung out in like my pajamas basically.
oh, there you go. You had yourself a nice
Jealous.
little PJ day.
Yeah, it was cold out, so I got like my thermal blankets out and shit, and it was nice.
There you go.
It was a nice quiet day basically. So
You pour yourself a nice wine. You just kicked your feet up, played a little Sunset
Oh,
Overdrive.
wine. I can't wait for the end of this week. I'm just gonna curl up with a bottle of wine and be like, "Goodbye, everybody. Bye. See
Oh,
ya."
I'm so sorry,
This,
Ash.
this week has been the longest week in the world.
I don't know. Mine hasn't been like completely awful. It's just been a regular, typical last week.
See, I can't do those though.
Oh.
Can't be average.
It
Can't be tamed.
Always above average. It's just always incredible days. Eric, how
Yeah.
was your day, man?
It was alright. I marathoned some Spy Kids.
We're gonna have trivia. I swear to God, we're gonna look up trivia, and I'm gonna have you and Ashley go head to head.
Now, dude, I
Can
I
we
was
do
too old for the
that?
Spy Kids movies. I think I saw one when I was babysitting. And
Oh
but
my
if you
God!
guys,
Here we go.
but here we go. What's
I swear to God,
scenario?
Whatever.
If
You missed out. Great trilogy.
I was gonna say, but if you wanna do Airbud trivia, then Golden
Oh my
Retriever,
God.
Airbud,
and,
yo.
yeah, I got them all.
the football one and
Golden Retriever,
the soccer one. The soccer one was
a
like
receiver. I suck.
Yeah, Air Buddies, yeah. That's
I don't mean to be a bummer, but that dog like passed away like a couple months ago.
Wow, cool. Just bring it right
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
Air
I'm
Buddies-
just,
I'm
I'm
just
just gonna be the biggest
I
bummer.
thought I thought that I thought that happened like years ago.
no. Well, dogs live pretty long lives.
No,
The
but Airbud.
average lifespan of a dog is like maybe like 15 years. Like
Yeah, but
16
Airbud
is
came
pushing
out
it.
like in like the late '90s. The first
It was
Airbud.
also like one of
What year
those
is
like
it,
shared
bud?
Twitter pictures, so it could be.
Air Buddies though was like not canon to the rest of the Airbud franchise, and I'm very upset about
it's
it.
not canon.
Well, it's extended
It's-
universe.
I'm gonna have to write a strongly worded letter to like Disney or whoever owns it to just be like, can you please fix this? You're defacing the good name of Airbud fans everywhere.
Wait, hold on,
Ashley-
Matt. You're defacing the good name of Airbud fans everywhere.
Yes, exactly that.
Okay. I'm
but
fine.
Eric-
I'm on board.
We haven't checked in with you, Eric, in a while. What is your actual life has been?
Just a lot of work. I was crazy busy with work stuff and baby stuff, but lately with fun stuff. I'm filling in, playing some bass for a Place and Time's big CD release show on Friday. So that's gonna be a lot of
yeah, I
fun.
heard
Practiced
that.
with them yesterday. Those guys are really fucking talented. Like,
Yeah.
just crazy talented.
They're actually going to
Such
be
a
on the
good
show in a
band.
few weeks, but we're not going to
Nice.
steal thunder. So, but we are looking forward to it.
Cool.
We're not stealing thunder, but we're looking forward to it. Is there a phrase for that? Someone help me, please, God. Anyway,
No, I think you phrased it fine.
Yeah,
You're
you
not
got it
gonna,
good.
I
You're
gotta
not gonna
cut.
steal the thunder from their show. You're fine. You're fine. Do you want to hear a fun fact about A Place in Time? They're the only band who's been on Property Exact
Yes.
Showcase twice.
And I was told recently, they're like, man, we put out this record, and apparently there's a limit on how many times we're allowed to be on Property of Zach Showcase.
No, it's not. Well, it's not like there's a limit. It's just like
That's so
you
funny
get
you said that.
you get one showcase, and they submitted. Obviously, it was before I joined the team, and they submitted, and I was like, because their email was in my inbox like right when I joined, so I was like, okay, I have to get everybody here on the queue. So I just was like, okay, like I queued up I started in December, like my first showcase went up mid-December, and that whole winter break, I spent queuing up showcases, writing them up, compiling everything, all the way through like April. So I had everything on lock. I was like, I don't have time for this at school, so I'm just like, getting it done. And well, one of the guys messaged me, or I guess he like used to be in the band. I don't know. I don't know if he
That's
mentioned.
duo. Yeah, there's a whole. We can talk to them about it when they come on. I've had both of them on my podcast to talk about it. I don't know what you guys are doing.
Well, he was like, oh, like, it's cool. We were like, I think we exchanged emails before about Showcase. And I was like, yeah, because I like had them in the queue, and another POZ staff member was like, hey, like, not knocking on the spam. These guys have made great progress in their sound. Like, they're really good, but they've already been on Showcase. And I was like really, really, like, you know, new to this team. So I was sitting there like, fuck, I fucking fucked everything up. Oh my God, they're going to fire me. Like, shit. So thankfully that didn't happen. And,
you have to like 3 times or else it
They're just waiting to fire you.
Just based off of that.
Like you're really just gonna be like, hey, do you remember that thing that you did like about like a year and a half ago?
Yeah, about that.
About that.
whatever.
Forever.
Forever. I have my modern baseball. Somewhere. Oh wait, no, it's to hell with this band.
Why did everyone just look to their right?
Did we all just look to the right just then?
To the right, to the right.
I have a wall next to me, so there's no reason for me to look over the right. But
well, because I have my modern baseball record like on the shelf right here.
Yeah, I got mine too, somewhere over here.
See?
I have no modern baseball shit like at all. I gave my fucking modern baseball button to my girlfriend. I had a CD. I have no clue where it is. I'm deprived of modern baseball stuff.
It's okay. We still.
If they're watching, please send me like a note or something. I don't know.
They are, and they will.
I don't, because I can't ask for like a oh, send me like a T-shirt. No, that's too much. Oh no! Speaking of T-shirts, I have one of their old prints, the green monster. So fuck all y'all. Ashley Nicole, how was your day?
My day was okay. I feel weird because normally we have these on Tuesdays, but now we're switching to Wednesdays.
We're on the Wednesday schedule. Yay!
So it's like a whole, like normally I'm like, well, I had my music class and then I went to this, but it like that didn't happen today. That was yesterday. So what did I do today? Okay, I had some class, some more class, some studying. I have 2 big tests tomorrow, so I was studying for that, and I'm just like, I don't want to study for this anymore.
Just like, I'm done studying. I'm
just so done, and I've just been so out of it all day, but it's been so warm here. It's like 60 degrees here. I'm like, are we not in the middle of November already?
You know what's odd? Alex, we're both from Jersey, me and Alex, and Alex said that it was really cold, but I was out doing yard work in like...
But how
what were you wearing? Wait, Ashley, what were you wearing? What were you wearing?
What was I wearing? I was wearing...
Not you. Ollie, what were you wearing?
You just said Ashley!
I said, well, as in Ashley stopped talking so I can ask Ollie what he was wearing when he was doing hot yard work.
Are we going to go through this again, Eric? Are we really going to go through
this? That just came out like, shut the... Like, oh my God.
Listen, I'm trying to ask
aggressive.
I was in like a T-shirt and like mowing the lawn, so and
trying to ask the hard-hitting questions that the boys in Random Holiday want to hear. He's gone, right?
That's fair. Anyway, so
what were you wearing?
I was wearing it. I walked down in a sweatshirt, but I was like, fuck this, it's too hot, and
so
then I grabbed a T-shirt.
Did you take it off?
Mm-hmm.
You damn right I took it off. Man, I gave my neighbors a show. I gave my neighbors the best fucking show they can ever get to see.
Take it off.
And I'm like a rare commodity like for the. Speaking of Taylor Swift.
That's why I did it. That's why I did
Good
it.
segue. Good segue right
That's
there.
Perfect. That's why we're here.
That wasn't planned. That wasn't planned.
It wasn't planned, but it worked out so well. We'll jump into our topics for this week. We have
real quick.
Topics.
Hey, Alex, you're from Jersey, right?
Yes.
Then why are you broadcasting from the sun? All right,
Wait, let's take a look. It really is like bright as fuck in your room.
Yeah. I guess it's just because I have
There's a light in his room, maybe.
Yeah, I have a low-hanging ceiling, and like. The only light bulb that works is like the one that's like by me. So.
Oh,
that's so sad. I'm sorry. I hope you guys are okay.
You should have just went with it, dude.
Hey, I like to keep things real here.
We like to keep things real on Babetalk. Only the realest shit gets talked about. Speaking of real shit, that went down recently over on Monday or this past weekend. Taylor Swift had pulled all her music except for one song, which was, I want to say, the single.
Not
I don't think "Shake It Off" is even on there
No,
anymore.
I know it's not "Take It Off," but
it's from
oh.
It's Safe and Sound from the Hunger Games.
Oh, good, because
okay.
that was
makes
the
sense.
point. All right.
Yeah. Well, I think only because like it's part of a compilation soundtrack that she kept it on there. But all the rest of her music has taken off with claims that her music, she's not making enough music for the production value that was put into her album. So because the production value was not met with the actual monetary value, she was like, no, fuck all y'all guys. I want more money or it's going to be nothing. And then she went with nothing. And now we have thousands of teen girls screaming, where's my T-Swizzle? And now she's not existent. I believe we're going to talk, at least what I want to get people's opinion on is, do you think Taylor should have pulled her music off of these streaming sites? And are we seeing that streaming sites aren't paying their artists enough based on the value that they put into their albums?
I'll go.
Okay.
Maybe.
I was like raising my hand, like I'm in class.
Hi.
All right. Well, the thing is, with a lot of, especially in 2014, Spotify, etc. Thank you, Carlos. Thank you for that.
That was an accident.
Mr. Carlos, please see me after class.
Mr. Carlos.
Mr. Carlos.
Dude, you sound so dignified. I love it.
Carlos.
I just completely
That
derailed.
makes you Miss Frizzle. How do you feel, Ollie?
Miss Frizzle was a teacher. My God, are you kidding me? I will happily be Miss Frizzle in a heartbeat.
Miss Frizzle was like the original Lady Gaga with her outfits, like all of like the dresses.
She was
Yeah,
fab, dude.
She was fab as fuck.
Yeah.
fantastic. Anyway, so a lot of artists in with streaming services and stuff, the typical thing, what they'll do is to boost the first week's sales, which are really important, they don't have the album available on Spotify or whatever streaming service is your preference, RDO, whatever.
Yeah.
But then after a week, then they'll put it up so everyone else can stream it. And so everyone's like, okay, that's probably what Taylor Swift's going to do, because Shake It Off was on there for like a long time. Like, it was on my driving playlist, because what better way to drive to get groceries than singing some Taylor Swift? I don't think there is one. And it didn't come back up on Spotify, and everyone's like, oh shit. And then she took down her whole back catalog. So everything's gone. And everyone's like, oh shit. So basically the whole internet just freaked out. And everyone suddenly became an industry expert, which is fine. You're allowed to voice your opinion. I'm okay with that. But not insinuating that I'm an expert either, because I'm just like a dumb kid who's about to graduate college.
That was out of love. I'm sorry. That was out of love. But as you were saying, though, I
Didn't
trust
she,
you.
like-
That's why I have you on here.
Didn't she do the same thing sort of with Red though, her last album? Like, she didn't release it for a while until after it had been out. And
Well, I remember, I had those singles on, random playlists for a long time. And, granted, I'm not, someone who keeps, intense tabs on Taylor Swift music on Spotify. But, I had all those singles on there, and, I never really noticed it was gone. And then people are getting mad. And, I just linked to Bill Werde, who used to be editor of Billboard. He posted a letter entitled... what was it called? An open letter to Spotify about Taylor Swift and why I'm unsubscribing. And basically he goes in and he says, okay, we don't have Taylor Swift's new album, or her entire catalog, and we don't have Beyonce's latest album, which is arguably those are two of the biggest albums of the year, or at least the past, 13 months since Beyonce's came out in December. Yeah. But he's like, okay, the average American pays $40 for music a year. Spotify premium subscribers pay $120 a year, but we're still not getting these albums. So that's really kind of annoying. Again, not that it's Spotify's fault, but it's okay, that's something that's irritating to me as a consumer of Spotify and music in general. And I don't know. He's basically calls out Spotify for saying, okay, well, we give 70% of everything back to the rights holders, but Bill Wurdy's like, if you gave them back a significant amount of money, enough that they'd want to be on Spotify and think that's a good source of income or that's a good source of revenue from my music, they would have said it. But because it's probably not very much, then that's why they didn't. And it's kind of like, is it worth it to be on Spotify? Is it not? Obviously, someone like Taylor Swift is going to make a killing selling all of her CDs, physical copies, deluxe editions everywhere.
Yeah,
So
I'm pretty sure the predicted numbers are like, what, like 120 million, or I'm very
the
far off from
predicted,
that.
it's
wait,
not
what number
120
did you
million.
say?
Like,
He said
like
120 million.
It's 1 point.
It was
so
1.287
I
million.
think
Yeah.
she's the
So
only
that-
person who's gonna go platinum this year. I like.
She probably
you read that,
is.
You read that article about like no albums going platinum this year, like at
Right.
all, right? I think she's gonna be the only one to go platinum. I think she has like her pulling from Spotify just seems kind of silly to me because
They
she's gonna make a
predicted
ton of.
that she'd sell 650,000 copies, and she sold like 1.3 million.
I think that still, I remember reading an article where it said that somebody, an unnamed like pop star that was on Taylor Swift's level makes 400,000 a year, not a year, 400,000 a month from Spotify. So that's sort of the range that they would be getting for someone like Taylor Swift would be getting 400,000.
But then it's like-
And that's
Spotify
just
per month.
one like distributor. I think the whole fact of pulling her music off of Spotify because she's not making enough money is just kind of lame because she's gonna make a ton of money from other sites, and it just seems like she's. I don't know too much about the whole business side of music, but it seems like she's more in it for. It's just a lame image she's giving off because it seems like she's in it more for money than sharing her music.
So
Yeah.
The one
that
big
was way too
quote
hard
is
to get
that-
out.
hold on, let me.
Yeah.
So the way that the business works with that, in the case, I think the deeper argument, which I like what we're talking about, which Ashley brought up, was the whole aspect of smaller bands going on. For what it's worth, this particular instance,
What happened?
Rock's
I think it
huge
froze.
stars, unpopular.
Eric.
Is Eric lagging out or am I lagging
No,
out?
it's
No,
Eric.
it's
Yeah,
Eric.
it's Eric.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's been 10 years, but no, like record. Can you not hear me?
Yeah,
Uh,
It was
we-
like
we-
lagging in and out.
We
It
didn't
was
get
sketch
most of that.
for a second. Yeah. Just start over
Are you
again.
good
I think we got you back.
You got me back?
You're talking about smaller bands, and then it kind
Yep.
of just stopped.
Okay. So can you hear me now? Are we good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
So with Taylor Swift, it's an artist on a major label, huge artist, one of the few gigantic musicians, like very successful musicians. The 1.3 million is the best week sale since 2002. So it's not just since it's years before iTunes even was a thing, or whoa, is that me? Anyway, can you hear me or is it still laggy?
No, you're
No,
good.
that
you're
was
good.
me. I accidentally set off the fart again.
Accidentally?
Oh.
Yeah, okay,
No,
we
for
said
real though.
Now we're looking
Okay,
at the boy who
Carlos,
cried
you
anyway,
cried wolf.
Now we're talking
Okay.
about the boy
She's-
who cried wolf. I can't.
Point is, she's not making the money. So she's not making the decision for money for herself or anything. She's making a small percentage of that. It's not like it's Macklemore owning the rights to Thrift Store. This is someone who has a major label deal. So the decision's being made to amp up the album sales, because if you limit the amount of places you can get the album, and if she thinks her album is that much in demand that she can justify losing a number of people who might hear it casually, because she knows that people will pay for it. There's some albums, if it doesn't come on Spotify, you're not going to buy the album, but if it's on Spotify, you're going to listen to it a bunch. She doesn't think or her label doesn't think her album falls into that category.
Now,
So it's like a short-sighted way of selling a lot of records to have a huge week, because with that no platinum records this year, her album selling that much is a huge anomaly that is going to make more and more headlines and make more money for that record company than would have gone into promotion to get that much publicity for it.
yeah.
Perfectly said, Eric.
Yeah.
Now,
It didn't
the
all
only
sound like,
question-
whoa.
The only question that I have then, that the less place that have the more money, she took the stance, and I'm not sure if it's her or if it is a PR puppet behind her, she claimed that her art, that her production value was not met.
That doesn't make
Yeah.
sense because it obviously was. We have
No.
the numbers. Like,
Yeah, I think that what she's trying to do is she's saying basically, if you read between the lines, she's basically saying, "I want more money from that's basically what it comes down to," and she's trying to play the role of oh, the artist who is getting you know penny pinched by poor Spotify or something
I
that
think there's
now.
two. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
That's the role that she's playing in order to sort of like get people to be on her side, so it doesn't look like she's really in it for the money, even though that's what it is. It's a money thing. It's not an art thing. She's
you
just
sound like
trying
a pretty big asshole if you're like, she's wrong. Artists shouldn't get paid. Like,
Yeah,
no one's
there's
gonna
two.
take that
There's two,
side.
not two very different, but there's definitely two approaches, and there's the approach of I'm Taylor Swift and I put a lot of effort into this music and my music is art and art is valuable and if something's valuable you should pay for it. Or the other side where she's like, where people are saying this is a really, really smart move because the whole big thing this year so far was there hasn't been a platinum selling record. There hasn't been a record that sold 1 million copies. And she, or the people at Big Machine or her PR team or like the 50,000 people she probably has rallying behind her in terms of like management and stuff, or like you have to not like you have to do something, but seeing this as an opportunity to get people to go out and buy the record. Not that people weren't going to go buy the physical copy anyway,
Yeah.
because she has she has a pretty loyal fan base. But we lost Carlos.
He'll
Okay.
be back.
Yeah,
I
I'm
was-
assuming that he'll.
Back.
Sorry, Carlos. But it's kind of like how people were so stunned when Beyonce dropped the album and everyone immediately bought it. It's kind of like Taylor Swift knew this was like by pulling it from Spotify, this was the edge. She needed to push over that million mark. Like, what if she hit like
Sorry about
9.9? It's okay.
Well,
like
technically-
990,000.
Just so what it's worth, those sale numbers, those aren't actual bought records from people. That's how many the stores bought to have in the stores for that opening week. So the
Yeah.
stores assumed they would need in total or in the U.S., just the U.S. They don't usually count the other numbers when they call stuff platinum, because the record companies here aren't necessarily making the money. It's the ones, the subsidiaries and others. But yeah, no. So it's like people haven't necessarily bought that many records. That's just the amount of supply they assumed they'd need in order to make sure no one went wanting that night.
I think that
That's
what
really
she's saying though
interesting.
is an interesting argument to make. Like I think that
She
the
shouldn't
point,
be making it. It's not this.
yeah,
isn't fair.
exactly. The point she brings up is legitimate, but I think that her bringing it up, I mean, even though I guess it gives some publicity to the whole idea that hey, if you like something, you should go out and buy it, and that the music industry isn't what it used to be, and all of that stuff that obviously we all know from supporting local bands and stuff like that. We know that things financially aren't so great with local bands. So I think that even though she is correct in her statement that that art and music should be if it should be paid for and stuff like that, and you shouldn't just go out and illegally download something or
Yeah, it's
or something like that. I think that the point is she's making it sort of in a not genuine sort of place. Like that's
It's not because it's all coming from the money aspect. It's all like,
right.
Oh, you should
This
always
all
pay-
also happened right before she announced a huge world tour, by the way.
Oh, well, see,
It's
look
all
at
it's
that.
PR.
Yeah,
It's
see?
all
It really is.
things don't
Now-
happen by accident when you have the right people
No,
marketing.
they didn't. Every step of this was planned, and everyone in Camp Taylor Swift is saying like, okay, like just so everyone knows, we're pulling everything from Spotify tonight, and tomorrow morning prepare for 50,000 angry emails from every person in your Rolodex being like, why the fuck is Taylor Swift not on Spotify anymore?
Yep.
And they have to have thought this out, and then they were like, okay, here's the world tour. that's like a year in advance, obviously, because it's like a world tour, and she's Taylor Swift, so she's gonna go everywhere. But it was methodical. Do we all agree with it? Maybe, maybe not. Because I'm not gonna go out and buy the record. Like, no offense, Taylor Swift. Like, I that's someone whose album I would listen to on Spotify because I expect it to be on Spotify. She's one of the biggest pop artists, if not the biggest pop artist right now in the world. So
Now, with that mentality, that brings a good question up. Do you think this will start a revolution as to having people actually now like not having like if there are other artists that decide that like because I know there are quite a few that have an issue with Spotify's monetary gain or not enough money being divvied out to the artists not properly, but not enough money being put out. Do you think more artists are going to pull out, and are you going to see more physical copies in people's hands starting with this Taylor Swift movement?
I don't think that at all.
Yeah.
I think there are maybe a couple dozen bands big enough to actually make that move. For everyone else, it's just the extra income from Spotify and Rhapsody and whatever, I guess, whatever, Amazon has a service. That plus the stumble upon exposure of people learning about the music, that's the way of the future. They're not going to start buying physical product. The only people buying physical product are the people like the way we obsess and get all of our like pop punk and emo like swag. Other like teenage girls and I'm sure some teenage boys. They only buy stuff from bands they're obsessed over or that they have a real strong connection to. And it's not like they have to love it as much as we love bands. And we're all in the music business, which means we're in that upper echelon of loving music to the point where spending all the time like doing
anyone can take their music off Spotify. Anyone who's on there right now, you can take your music off Spotify, but very few people are going to make headlines about doing so. So it's just not worth it. And Eric makes a great point. It's just like that extra income can be crucial sometimes, and the stumble upon factor is so important. Like last week when Ryan was talking about, he's from Marina City, and he's like, our music is available to stream at every possible platform it can be on, and that's so important. Because then you find out about a band you might not have heard of, but Taylor Swift you're going to hear about. So it's not a tactic that many people can use. So
that stumble upon factor, I think, is really why Spotify is important for bands to have to be on Spotify because really I think of something like every listen is like a fraction of a penny, like in terms of like how much you actually make.
Low, yeah.
So I mean, even if at the end of the day, if you're a smaller band, you're lucky if you get like
$2.
Like $2.
I got my every 6 month $20 check from Spotify the other day. It was like lunch.
Yeah, see, exactly. And so I'm saying that
$2
that's
meals
$2
a
you
year.
didn't have before.
Yeah, when it comes down to it, I think it's a stumble upon factor that really is what's valuable for the band and the ability that that it's easily accessible. That a lot of people have Spotify now, so it's very easy for them to go and search for a band or what have you. So they don't have to go through
artists.
So they don't have to go through like all the other band people who listen to bands are kind of like lazy in the way that they want all the bands sort of fed to them. Like they want to be able to have access to everything. So
all at once, because that's the generation
instant gratification.
Right. And so I think Spotify definitely gives that to them because it gives them a place for all the bands to be, and that's why it's a good business model for.
And you know what else has that is YouTube. So people can get all those songs anyway at slightly shittier quality, and nobody seems to care about that.
Right.
Well, those audiences, a Taylor Swift audience. No offense, Taylor Swift audience, Swifties. I know what you're called. There's no, no audiophiles in the Swiftie camp. Although, Ashley, you did mention Camp Taylor Swift. That sounds like a fun and wholesome summer.
That sounds like such a G-rated summer camp that I would want to go to.
I wish I knew more Taylor Swift because the puns would just start flowing with those lyrics.
I really want if we could like name episodes or like name segments, like this segment would be, I would want to call it like "Take It Off" in parentheses of Spotify.
You know what? That's gonna put extra work on, but I think we can do it. I think we can do it.
That would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
Sounds
That's gonna
kinda
be a
saucy.
thing.
I
So,
love puns.
we're gonna move on. The other subject that I had to talk about today was something that Tony Peppers had actually was like, "Hey, talk about it," and I didn't know this was a thing until I had recently looked into it. Band sound words.
It's hard, right?
It really is a form of sentence. Like, goddamn. You every year we'll get movies, you know, like big production movies, and then those big production movies would be like, "Hey, we want bands
Lord,
that's
Fall Out
popular,
Boy.
Fall Out Boy, Paramore, to come on and do an original song." And recently, Fall Out Boy had dropped their song for Immortal, and fans weren't all that happy with it. And then Bring Me
Immortals.
the Horizon
Plural.
amongst their whole. I'm sorry.
Immortals.
Bring me the horizons. It's plural.
No, Immortals is plural.
Bring me the vinyls.
Bring me us the horizons.
I want that to be another episode today.
Bring me the vinyls. Bring me
Why wasn't a
the
verb,
Horizons
idiot?
had recently come out with a song. I want to, what is it called? It's
Drown.
No, Drown was actually not that the song, because Drown I actually
Drowns.
liked. And I was like, oh, Drown doesn't sound all that bad. There,
It was the one with the dude rapping rapping over it.
Yeah,
I was thinking Drown.
It was for the rescore for the movie Drive,
Drive.
which
Oh,
I think
yeah,
is
I remember.
which I think is a little weird considering the fact that Drive was a movie from like 2007 and
It's not like late enough to do a remake of something from 2007. Like,
well it's
Yeah,
just
then again, they did that for The
it's just a
Incredibles.
rescore. It's the
rescore,
same
sorry.
movie. It's the same movie with just like a different soundtrack behind it, and I mean,
now
You
here's
just
a
changed
question
the CD
that,
in the car.
right.
It's gonna be the same movie though, just changing it's a B-side. Here's the question though, with people not like these songs were overall the public reaction were like shit. Now, should artists be held accountable for those songs that they put out to not taint the rest of their discography?
no.
Does anyone here like?
One sec.
Does
I gotta
anyone-
go grab my computer charger. My computer's about to die.
Okay, got it.
Does anybody here like Less Than Jake?
Yes.
Yeah.
Theme song from the Good Burger movie.
But it was good though.
When
Yeah.
you were like,
Like,
6,
see-
those are the weirdest words. Those lyrics are insane.
They are. But see, here's the thing. Like, I was comparing other soundtracks.
Good Burger had a good soundtrack. So did
Good
Space
Burger
Jam.
had a good soundtrack.
Welcome
Kimmy
to the
Dawson,
Space Jam.
her career had just become publicized. Like she had a great following underground, but when the Juno soundtrack came out, everyone was fucking singing songs as if they were an indie hipster that with their nerdy glasses. And that soundtrack was impeccable. Phil Collins, the whole fucking Tarzan movie was his brainchild, and it was fantastic. And then we have
Well,
I mean,
agree to
Brendan-
disagree.
I'm
with
gonna
Brendan
punch you.
Fraser.
Today. How can you not like Tarzan, Alex?
Did you?
I don't like Phil Collins. I like Tarzan.
Ow!
My beef is not with Tarzan.
How can you not
That's
like
good
What
for
did
you.
Phil Collins do? to
Genesis
you?
was like the best
definition
80s band
of
ever.
jam.
Genesis was good, but then Phil Collins decided to make ballads and.
Yeah, Super Nintendo was better.
I don't like it. Yeah. Whatever. But
The
so
Dreamcast just
okay,
Old
so,
man
so,
Eric.
now that we have Carlos back, Carlos, do you think that artists should be held responsible for the music that they put out for soundtracks, and not particularly for singles or for their actual discography?
By held responsible, you mean like
It goes. It's like a collective. Like it will be included in the discography if they
It's
put out.
canon.
It's canon.
It's not
canon.
extended universe.
It's actually part of their discography. So, like, if they put out a shitty song for a movie, but people looking like, oh, they've changed, they're like, no, it's totally different because we're now just doing it for a movie, which is the cop-out that Bring Me the Horizon had given.
I mean, if you're putting your name on it, I think you should be held responsible. Because, like, even, I don't care if it's for a movie or for fucking, I don't even know, whatever. It's your band, you're putting your song in it. You should be held responsible. If you're putting your name on something, you should make it the highest quality you can.
Well, it's
I
one thing to
agree.
do that, but like, and I Sorry, I just cut you off, Eric. But you
Nope.
cut me off enough that I'm going to keep going. So you can just deal with it.
Ashley,
Yeah, this
So,
is a revenge thing.
basically-
Alex, keep going.
Children. Hold on.
But like I was saying, no, go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna mute both of you, and Alex is gonna make his point.
I will turn this podcast around.
I will pull.
So it'll start going well.
I will pull all the plugs.
I'll go into each individual house and just start like closing laptops and shit.
Closing a laptop.
You
don't
lost
wanna
your
come to
Babetalk
Syracuse,
privileges for a
it's
week.
terrible.
Anyway, so whose point? Who's okay? Miss Nicole.
Thank you.
I want you all to address you as professor for that one. Anyway,
Okay, I agree with Carlos. If you put something out, it should be like a quality song, like, you know, like production-wise and stuff like that. But if you were asked to make a movie or a soundtrack or a song for a movie, it's more so for the movie. Like, you know, if you do like what's the movie Fall Out Boy song is for? Big Heroes.
Big Hero 6.
Big Hero 6. I don't know what that is, but
I
they
missed the
made it
first five.
for the movie. It's not like it's not a Fall Out Boy album. It's not like, oh, like we made this just for the fans. It's for the movie. It has like a specific purpose. You know, I think it's like we made this song. They asked us to make this song, but it's for the movie. Like when Lorde, she's the one who's curating the Hunger Games soundtrack. So it's not like
blows
this
my
is
mind.
what I want
That's
my
Curating.
Yeah,
You're
I'm not.
a good
I
music
don't
journalist.
disagree.
She's curating.
Yeah, she's not
She's-
curating.
She's curating. She did Yellow Flicker Beat. Like first of all, Lorde runs the world. Like, and I just
Well, yeah, it's in her name.
I know, right? Isn't that weird? That like out of nowhere she just like pops up, and now she literally is now just like.
Well, to be
Actually,
fair,
she
she was
was-
signed since she was 13.
she
She's
dropped
been-
She
she
just
dropped an EP
pop up.
on SoundCloud November 2012.
So
I heard
when-
it.
Yeah.
I heard it in like January in this like of 2013. No one knew who she was. It was literally it was for her download. Her EP was free download on SoundCloud. It was no name, nothing. It was just Lorde from New Zealand, like, and
She's from the newest Zealand, right?
the newest Zealand.
The newest part of the
Well, she
And
so
just like the sketch picture, like no real photographs or anything, and then like all of a sudden, like all at once, it all came out all
so
at
when
once.
she
Like
was 13, she did like a Star Search type thing in New Zealand or something along those lines, or she got discovered, however. And this dude who was in a really big New Zealand pop punk band, similar to how Goldfinger started working with like 5 Seconds of Summer or whatever. This dude who was like retired from pop punk started working with her on her image and her voice and her like, and he makes all the beats and writes a lot of the songs and stuff. And the two of them, along with their management and PR, built her up over the span of like 4 years, and then she just exploded all over New Zealand, and they immediately started shipping it to American labels. And yeah, so it was. And one thing that when I was listening to her album finally, after that South Park episode, I was like, I'll give it a shot. And,
where have you been, son?
and so,
Where have you
well,
been?
I heard, you know where I was?
Feeling good on
I was
the
watching her do Royals on SNL, and I guess I tuned out for the words where she's like, and everybody's like, and I was like, oh, she's just singing all that stuff unironically. I'm not interested in this. I was like, oh, she means the opposite of what I thought it meant. So, but I was listening to it, and it remanded me of a stripped down
We
version
slayed
of the
Ollie.
band
You
Metric.
killed Ollie. Ollie's dead now. All right.
Stepped on my point. And exploded. No, but it reminded me of like a stripped down Metric, like lyrical style. Oh God, Ollie's gone. Lyrical style, like
Ollie muted himself. That's how gone he is.
Oh god.
You can come back now.
You literally had tuned her out because you're like, go.
Go
Fucking Lord.
Lorde is my spirit animal. Lorde's bringing back the curly hair into the popular
Oh
mainstream.
goddamn! Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I'm doing that. Check this out. I got
Lord,
that.
I think, is proof that like it's further validations that hipsters are here to stay because like
Hipster.
no, her interviews are all like, oh, you know, oh, I'm influenced by like Fleetwood Mac and stuff like that. Like I'm just like,
Oh, she's influenced by
and
one of those popular bands in the history of rock and roll.
Yeah, but I mean,
She's
like,
influenced by what her producer writes.
She's like
She's
the
not influenced by a
anti-Justin
goddamn
Bieber.
thing.
That's what Jesse Cannon calls her, which I think is so spot on.
And you know, when you look at like as Alex says, like her influences, her sound all in itself, her image.
yeah,
the way,
exactly.
The way that she carries herself, it's like I don't give a good goddamn. You can suck my 16-year-old dick, which like she was saying that like I'm so young.
18.
Like why are people
18.
like 18? Oh, you're under 18.
She's like,
if you're under 18, you're 12. I don't. At this point in the game, anyway. But so yeah.
she's like about to turn 18. I'm pretty sure she just tweeted that.
Well,
Do you have the calendar on your wall?
it's
That goes to
Lord's
anybody, by the
birthday
way.
circled.
Lord's birthday.
No,
No,
it's
because
December
she's
31st.
putting out a music video for one of the Hunger Games songs that she did, and she's like, it
music
comes out
video.
soon, and this is my 18th birthday to you,
Stop
like
it.
18th birthday present to you guys, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
you're so little. I wasn't doing anything I turned 18 when I was in college, actually. I wasn't doing anything then either.
Oh.
Eric, we don't need to go there. We don't need to take this decade-long road trip.
I'm trying to come up with porn puns for Hunger Games.
Don't. Just stop. Just
And all I
don't
can come
go
up
there.
with, hold on. All I can come up with is Spelunker Games. You know what spelunking is? It's spelunking is
jumping
deep
and
cave
diving.
diving.
No.
Spelunker game.
Thank you, Ollie.
That's something I'm not willing to learn tonight. I'm willing to learn
It's
from
just
Carlos.
deep cave diving.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's deep cave diving. It's perfectly
Stop.
G-rated.
Just
You have a
stop.
dirty
Do not pass
mind.
go. Do not collect $200. Just stop.
Oh boy.
Okay. All right.
Where's
We've
$200?
derailed. We've totally
have
derailed,
seriously derailed.
From the point.
I forgot what we were talking about.
Oh,
Soundtracks.
soundtracks.
And Ashley, you were saying that like the music portions need to fit the movie, but when
Like-
Paramore had put out at least the first song, Decode from Twilight, that was a damn good song, and she still plays that live. Like
The
I
thing is,
wouldn't
people-
imagine that Fall Out Boy would go with Immortals and be like, yeah, here's Immortals.
Like the thing
Here
is,
we go.
people getting mad that it's not like okay. Like I was just saying before we started the show. I don't like Immortals. I didn't like the
Yeah.
song. I listened to it like once, twice, 3.5 times. I was like, okay, like I can't do it anymore. I like Centuries, but I did not like Immortals. The thing is, like, it's not. It's like, okay, let's say you're a chef and someone comes into the restaurant and they're like, I'm gluten-free. Can you help make something for me that I can eat without getting sick that would fit my needs? So if someone comes in
And lies to you.
But then
Go
again,
on.
like
I see what you're saying. You're making a good point. You're making a good analogy. Good analogy.
if you're a chef,
Thank you,
though,
Eric.
if you're a chef, you would already know how to do these things. If you're really
You
good
say it's my
chef,
No.
restaurant.
you would know how to.
no, that's, I mean, of course, like a
And
like
you're
any,
getting
like,
a McFlurry.
but like that's the thing. If someone comes in and they say like I need something very specific, and you make it for that person, and the person says this meets my needs, thank you. But if someone else comes in who's like not gluten free and they eat the sandwich that's meant for the gluten free person, like they could like it, or they could say this is disgusting rice bread and I'm never eating this again. But like it wasn't made for you, so you can't get mad about it.
See, I don't find Immortals to be that different from like
Yeah,
Save
I don't-
Rock and Roll though.
I didn't hear
Which,
any difference either.
I can't. I can't.
I didn't
but
think
see,
it sounded
that's the
different. I just
awful
didn't
thing.
care
I think
for it.
that's-
Like
It
I
just
hate
sounds
it.
like new Fallout Boy.
I
And-
mean,
yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, the thing with Immortals is Immortals was all right. It wasn't like fantastic by any means. I think that just like any other type, of album or artist or songs or anything like that, there are good ones and there are bad ones, and so I think that like with Bring Me the Horizon, that the song they did for the Drive remix or whatever wasn't that good at
Rescore.
all.
No.
I've never. Is that happen often? I've never heard of a rescore.
Yeah,
of
it was
What the hell is that?
it was
I think it's like a remastered edition. Is what you.
and what they did
compared
was I know that the 1975 did they released the song Medicine for the rescore, and it was very different from what they had on their like self-titled album that they dropped that I absolutely loved, and they went back to sort of a more like ambient style that they had going on with with their EP. So I think that a lot of bands, uh, like with especially movies, they want to go and they want to bring something new to the table because
They have the
I
creative
mean,
freedom to do so.
yeah, and movies has sort of like thematic element to it, you know, like I mean, you have to really fit the style of the movie too. And you just
Yeah.
can't pick in and plug in any, you know, Bring Me the Horizon or
Yeah.
And
and
that's actually a good point because that is what they had said. We looked at the rest of our discography and we couldn't put any of our old stuff.
yeah, you
And
So
can't
we
put
made a new one to fit the needs of the movie.
So
yeah, and I
that's
mean it could very well fit the needs of the movie. That doesn't make it like a fantastic song by itself, but
Yeah, but see, like coming from I am a Bring Me the Horizon fan, and literally the song just did not sound good, production wise. It didn't seem as if like it would be good for like even if it was sent in for the movie, I'd still look at it and be like, what are you submitting?
right.
And the
See-
same, and I mean, I'm a little bit different when it comes to Fall Out Boy because like I really don't like the new Fall Out Boy change and sound that they've been doing, and it just solidified like with Centuries that had come out. I wasn't a huge fan of it like by any means, but at least with Immortals, I was like, this was a version that I could get into. Like I kind of liked it for this new sound, but it still isn't anything that I like. So like if we're looking at a point where it's like, oh, it's for a movie, this will kind of fit, then like, yeah, I guess like that could work. But at least for the Bring Me the Horizon song, by no means I don't think it should be submitted to anyone. Like maybe someone's like 8th grade film project that someone threw them a
Right.
See,
iMac with.
when you're writing to a movie, though, you're not aiming to be the main thing people are focusing on. You're kind of just background music to whatever is going on. So, I mean, you can write a great song for a movie, but you're not going to be the main attraction.
Yeah, you still want to
Makes
be
sense.
able to complement it though, you know.
Yeah. But, you know, sometimes the song isn't going to be as good, as good a song, but it will complement what's going on in the movie more.
So
Right.
it's,
Does that make sense?
it's not the main appetizer, it's the potatoes that go along with the meat to complement the rest of the dish.
And I think that there's something to be said sort of with the change with sort of more like rock-esque music being like integrated into mainstream movies, and that all sort of started with, you know, like your Juno and movies like that, you
Nick
know,
and Nora's
where
Infinite Playlist. And,
It-
know.
That was more, yeah, but both those movies focus more indie than anything else.
yeah,
Like,
but I mean like
those-
more like after those movies, you started seeing more like, you know, how and then like you had Twilight that had like Paramore and Iron and Wine and
metric.
yeah, and
Green
I keep
Day.
bringing up.
you know, like now I mean, I guess for a while when people were like, you know, making music for movies, it was people who their main focus was just to make like music for movies. And now there's just sort of like bands that make music more for like a general audience outside of movies now come in and they're trying to sort of fill that void a little bit more now that there's a market for it. I think that that kind of, you know, that
That makes
it's tough. It's tough to fill that void because you know you have like all these people who are like composers and stuff like that who have been doing it for years upon years upon years, and they know how to fill the role of that medium. They know how to execute it, you know, to the best of their abilities. But
Now I think you're talking about the movie score, less the songs for a soundtrack. But yeah. I mean, even the singer Auguster, now he's pretty sure making the majority of his money doing scores for movies, or at least he
Yeah,
did a
you
run
make
in
bank
movies.
off that.
Yup.
right.
That's where, yeah. Making your own music, there's no money in that. Come on, get out of here.
Who in the
You gotta
world
make
wanna
your
their
music
own
for somebody
nowadays?
else's thing that actually has a budget, like a movie.
right.
You play around with other people's money, dude.
Also-
Anytime you play around with other people's money, it's so much fucking fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
That's
how do you
why
think
that-
Bowling for Soup is still? How do you think Bowling for
It's
Soup is still around
120 days,
after
it's
all these
They were
years?
on Warped.
Yeah, well, they're making bank. Chuck E. Cheese is paying their way to, you know.
Yup.
Dude, and the soundtrack, the opening theme to Phineas and Ferb.
Yeah.
You guys remember that movie they were in like 2006? What was that superhero movie? They covered I'll Melt With You. Sky High.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, my favorite superhero movie.
Eric, I'm gonna pull your dick off.
Please do, but can you do something else for me first? Well, I mean, while you're
Stop.
Ollie, that was not the threat you were aiming
that-
to give.
yeah, which one of us is gonna say that?
Oh Lord,
hear
Eric,
stop.
it's nice to have you back.
Is it?
It is. I
What
feel
is
it.
this episode right now?
Anyway, so
Didn't you already title it?
Jesus.
we're looking at literally the halfway point of our show. No.
Nope.
I don't know how to tell
What
time.
is math?
What is math? What are words? What are math?
Taylor Swift sold 100 records.
120 million.
120 million records.
She made the greatest decision taking her music off Spotify.
A lot of
Spotify's gone
people
now.
really.
No one
And by the
uses
way-
Spotify anymore.
This is I have a theory about that Fall Out Boy song. They took a 3-year break from music to do whatever the fuck they wanted. Came back, had like the song of the decade as far as radio and commercial use. And then Disney asked to pay them $1 bajillion to do a song when they don't even have a record coming out to help promote it. And they're like, hey, what are we? Oh yeah, Immortals. Here's your song.
Wow. You know what? That actually kind of makes some sense. Because I was thinking, I'm like, do they actually have like Disney's original sound, Big Hero 6? I don't think they do.
They pulled out a fucking B-side from their last record and was like, here you go.
They had to,
Have fun with that
literally.
shit.
Just
'Cause
dust
it
this
sounds
off
just
and
like
like
it.
spit shine it, and here you go. Here you go.
Absolutely. And it makes
They're
it
like,
makes
hey,
perfect
that
sense.
like beat at the very beginning of the song would probably sound good at the beginning of a trailer. I see a little bit of
Yeah.
a coincidence here.
Well, you know what's nuts is it seems like they're imploring the Macklemore model of the like what he did before he got huge. Just the I'm going to release one song every so often, and if it gains traction, we'll keep adding more marketing stuff to it. I'm not going to put out a full length album until there's just a serious demand for a full length album. And Fall Out Boy's
Also
just
known as
been-
I
Little
think
B
that's a good
model.
idea, though. I think that's a really good idea,
well,
especially because
Lil
like
B. I mean, he's like what 3 inches tall.
Oh.
So like.
Lil B. We could talk about Lil B for the rest of the show.
Sorry, I thought you were making fun of my
Dude,
horrible
he
joke.
followed
I was
me
like,
on
I'm out of.
Little B is his own.
Lil B pretends to follow you on Twitter.
No, Lil B.
He does though. I'm not even kidding.
Can we get a roll call real fast as to who follow? Lil B follows me. Follows Carlos.
I actually have a Little B fake account that I follow all you motherfuckers on.
Yeah, okay, Eric. I swear to God, but if it's true, I will burn down your house.
Oh, Christ.
Little B doesn't
he
follow
has-
me, but
he
I have
has a
hugged Little B
dog.
before.
Don't burn down his house. He
No,
has
That's
a
the
dog.
dog. That's
pregnant
the
wife,
whole reason
but my
why.
dog.
Eric, we're gonna leave your house alone
A dog
because
and a
you have
pregnant
dog.
wife.
Good thing I got that dog.
Just wait till he
Don't
steps
talk
out of the
about
house.
your wife like that, Eric. That's awful.
Dogs are important.
Sorry, Callie.
Wait till he
you can
steps
never
out of that
pee
house.
Again. Yeah, Callie, you can't ever pee again. I'm so sorry. Gotta keep you in
Anyway,
this house.
all right, we're moving on
was
to our
fun.
interview portion of it.
Interview.
I'm glad you had fun, Carlos. But show's not over yet. Everyone, stay tuned because we're actually gonna have an interview with Carlos from the Oddities.
Yay.
But we don't have any commercials on here because no one loves us. But if you want us to sponsor, we'll do it.
Can you? Can you sponsor something for me?
Please
Give us
sponsor-
money.
Give us money because it's not a conversation for now. We're actually gonna jump into our
Interview.
interview for Carlos of Oddities.
That's me.
We're going to go back and forth with questions for you, sir. We'll go. Eric, you know what? Eric, it's gonna be you. We'll go Ashley
Well, I have
Nicole,
a terrible first question.
and then yeah.
Yeah.
And then we'll go Alex North, and then I'll come in behind y'all.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. Here's my terrible first question, Carlos.
Me.
I think we've played a show together.
Yeah, we
Is
played
that
with the punches.
Yeah.
At,
Yep.
Mount Airy.
Yep. Okay.
Nice.
That's it. All right. Next.
I think I met you outside of Wonder Years.
You probably did. I've probably met you like 7 or 8 times for all the bands we know together and all the shows and stuff.
Yeah.
We were talking about this earlier because Carlos is like, I think I met Eric. He like handed me a sticker or something once.
Oh, yeah,
I don't
always.
know.
Yeah.
You know Eric, he just always handing out stickers.
For my band. Yeah.
Just hand those things to like all the little boys and girls to be like, here you go.
It'd be weirder
This
if
is for
it
your-
wasn't his band and he was just handing out random stickers.
Here's
I
a
feel like I'm the
unicorn,
kind of person who has
here's
like
an
random
A+.
stickers just like everywhere. Like I have my Spotify stickers still. I have like this is like my home college, and it's like the building on a sticker.
You know, if you peel off the back side, you can put it on something.
Wow, shockingly enough, I've already done that. Thanks, Eric.
Did you put it on the back of another adhesive paper? Because it looks like you have it.
No, these are like the leftovers.
We're learning things today. We're learning how to
I
apply
have like
stickers.
a bunch of these. The rest of them are on my they're on like a water bottle somewhere. That's not the one I have with me right now.
All right, so Eric, do you have a question?
Yeah, your band
That was
is
Eric's
good.
terrible
Damn it.
first question.
My question was
I
going to
didn't
be...
think it was terrible.
I think we've played a band together.
Question mark? That's my question.
I like your band. What's your music writing process for your band?
Usually it's me and my bassist just sort of making this like skeleton of a song, and like recording it on our iPhones, and then just sending it to everybody, and all of us sort of figuring out pieces together.
Do you jam it out, or do you guys bring stuff beyond the skeleton? Do you guys bring stuff to practice, or like someone's like, here's an idea for this lead, or is it more like you guys just kind of play on the skeleton and whatever happens, happens?
Usually we always at least have like a rhythm guitar and a drum idea for like the whole song, and we play through that, and we'll come up with spots where we need leads or something like that, and we'll sort of stop and figure everything out. Is that a good answer?
That's the best answer I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, I thought so.
Ashley. Alex was gonna ask
Actually,
a
you
question.
should retract what you just said, Eric, because the best answer you've ever heard in your life is probably when your wife agreed to marry you. So when she watches this episode, she can say, "Oh." That's not even meant to be sassy. I'm just saying, like that. So like that's the second best answer you've ever heard from Carlos.
She actually said, and I'm not kidding, this is word for word, yes, now will you let me inside?
All right.
It was outside. It was at the front door.
Oh, okay. I'm like,
It's actually a
Tyler,
cute
did
story,
you like
but-
lock her in the basement, and then like she wasn't allowed to come up unless she agreed to marry
Can
you?
we
No,
talk
no,
about
that's
this
when
after
she-
the show? Because now I'm curious.
Oh, yeah, let's... Hey, that sounds interesting. Can we do this off air? Because I've got a lot of... No, we'll talk about it later, though. So, seriously, Alex, you had a question?
Oh,
Wait.
dear God.
Oh yeah. I
swear to God, Ashley, your question.
No, it's okay. I'm not important enough.
Actually, I do have a really good question, and I am so anxious to tell it.
Okay.
Do you tell questions?
That's what I was gonna say.
I tell all the questions.
He tells all the. That's a big
All right,
song.
Alex.
Not like
Well,
it is.
Ashley was
All
going to
right.
ask a question.
Oh, I was now, was I?
Yes.
God, I miss Caitlin.
Why? Because she'll be taking it?
No, because she didn't give me this sass, Eric.
Oh, you mean you wish I was dead?
I swear to God, both of you.
Where the hell did that come from?
I don't know.
Dang.
I don't know.
That's
A
not
dark
even
place.
funny.
A dark
Don't joke
place.
about that.
A dark place. All right, seriously, though. Alex had a question.
All right. So my question is that I went and listened to both the Nomads, like the Nomads EP and the Dang It Bobby EP, and so my question is that there was like a stylistic change in between the two of them, like the Dang It Bobby EP. It felt like it was like very like more sort of like straight ahead like pop punk.
Apparently, it's still Halloween.
Yeah, like, and I am aware of all of that going on, but
No,
I'm
I'm
going
not
ahead with my
sure,
question because
That's
it's a
just
good
Carlos.
question.
Like that's his normal face. Everyone, just don't worry about
Yeah.
it.
He's like the drummer of Anti-Flag.
Yeah.
Go on.
So, with the Dang It Bobby EP, it felt like it was like more like just like a straight up like pop punk record. Like it reminded me a lot of like 2010, 2009 era like pop punk, like when you had like Dagger Mouth and Set Your Goals and stuff like that. Like, with like all like the punk beat and stuff like that. And with the new like Nomads EP, the one band that it kind of reminded me of, and I was kind of surprised that you didn't have this on like your influences page because it was the one band that I kept thinking about when I was listening to that record is Tiger's Jaw. Uh, it sounds a lot like Tiger's Jaw.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So my question to you is, was there an intentional stylistic change between the two releases in terms of like putting like your pop punk sort of sound a bit on the back burner to sort of go in a different direction to sort of sound more like, take the route of like Tiger's Jaw and stuff like that,
See, at the time when we recorded Dang It Bobby, my entire band, we were like straight up DPP, non-stop, nothing but like Man Overboard, Wonder Years, all that shit. That was just like us. We were like, I think like we just finished like sophomore year, freshman year of high school, so we were just like straight up asshole dorks when it came to music. And you know, between it was like a year between EPs, and basically in between the EP, we actually started opening our horizons a bit. Our bassist is super into like indie bands like Man, Modest Mouse, that kind of
I
really.
saw both of
weird
them play a show together in 2005.
He's into like that weird indie shit, and I got more into bands like these '90s like alternative bands. Like I'm super into Weezer's first two albums. That's like, and like I'm super into Motion City and stuff like that. And basically, it just sort of came from us listening to different crap. Like I don't think it was intentional, but it just kind of happened.
Right.
Cool. It's cool that you like went out and like expanded your musical horizons and stuff. Because I know like in like when I was in high school, just coming into high school. I was like, I only want to listen to like My Chemical Romance and Escape the Fate and like Green Day, and that's it. Like I'm just so different from all you guys. Like, oh my gosh, I thought it was just like the coolest person.
Did you say it with like that like head bob thing too?
Oh my god.
See, honestly, joining DPP did great things for like my music taste, because I was like, damn, I do not want to be these people.
That is the truest statement I have heard.
I
I
just
love this
wanted
kid.
to distance myself as far as I could from that.
Oh my god,
And I'm going to
perfect.
period my sentence with this.
Perfect answer.
But, like, honestly, DPP did so many good things for my music taste. Though, not to, like, give them credit.
Yeah, it was weird though because like every time I would listen to it, I would think of like another song to compare it to, and every time I'm like, who sang that song? And I'm like, oh wait, it's Tiger's Jaw. And
Yeah,
yeah,
we
it,
wrote
yeah,
Tiger's Jaw songs.
it's like that one song that that like they did for the Run for Cover compilation,
Shit, what is that song?
like
I'm
Mixed
blanking now.
Signals.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, it's I kept like drawing comparisons between like at least like two or three of your songs and that song, and I'm just like, who sang that song? And I would ask myself that question like after every listen, and I'm just like, who sang that song? I'm like, oh wait, it's Tiger's Jaw. Like,
See, you can kind of tell which songs my bassist wrote and which ones I wrote, because the ones that my bassist wrote, Dean, Feral Ground, and Nomads, it's a lot more like indie, like weird. And see, at the time when I was writing Nomads, I was into bands like Against Me, hate to name this band again, but Motion City, like like more punker bands, and it's basically me who's into more punk shit, and my bassist who's into like really weird shit, and us trying to find a middle ground in between those two. And I think we accomplished that well enough on this record. But yeah.
yeah, I could sort of see the Motion City influence, definitely.
Oh, they're like my favorite band right now, dude.
Yeah, they're so good.
Olipop.
Ash, no, what? No,
Huh?
Ashley still has her question.
He did it on
Oh,
purpose,
right.
Ollie.
I didn't
I
actually
know.
need that
Oh, I
time.
know.
Was
Oh, I
not.
absolutely know. I know exactly this dynamic's been going on this entire fucking time. But Ash, because I know exactly what question you're going to ask, so you can go ahead and ask it.
Actually, I was gonna ask a different question.
Were you?
Shocking.
I
Yeah.
apologize. For
Throwing a
insinuating.
curveball.
Throwing a
Throwing a
curveball.
All right.
curveball.
I'm kind of
Um,
scared.
Well, because no, it's don't worry about it.
It's not a scary question. This
You're
is a
not
safe
Eric.
place.
I'm not gonna sass you out.
He got so scared. He's been seeing how Ashley has been all night. He's like, no, I don't want to ask a question from Ashley.
Well, the
No,
thing
I'm
is,
sorry.
you mentioned before that you're a senior in high school, which is like an exciting time in your life, and like I'm really excited because normally high school kind of sucks. So I'm excited that you're almost done with it. Congratulations, you
Thank
did
you.
it. Are you planning on continuing on with this specific band after high school? Like, considering most people go lots of different places once they graduate, are you still obviously gonna like think about music and performing in a band, or like what's where you see yourself in 12 months in regards to music and the oddities and stuff?
Right now with the oddities, we're looking at doing it, but doing it not as much as we do now because we got to work in breaks. So basically, I don't want to like lay out any like official things, but we're looking like doing tours summer, winter, and like just like sort of chilling out during fall. And I'm trying to start a couple new things just to keep myself busy. And I'm gonna mess with your question a little bit and like.
Go for
I
it. Do whatever you
don't
want.
see myself doing anything that isn't music because there's not much else I'm good at.
No, I totally feel you. No, like when I graduated or like was going into the college application process, because I knew I wanted to go to college. I was like, there, I can't do anything else right now that's like going to benefit my life, and I think going to college is the best, like for me personally. But I was like, I have to do something music related, like, and I don't play in a band, I don't play an instrument, whatever. So it's like straight up business stuff. But I like really needed to be involved, and like I feel that where you just like I can't imagine myself doing anything else. So, well, I'm glad to hear it.
Awesome.
Yeah, the question that I had, because you guys are still kind of fresh, but I don't know exactly when you guys have started music. When did you guys decide? Well, first, when did you guys form, and when did you decide personally that it's time to start a band? Like, was there a time that you and like your buddies are hanging out? We were like, hey, one of us plays guitar. Oh fuck, one of us drums.
See, there's actually a funny story on how we all met. My bassist, I'm gonna mess with your question a little bit. My bassist, went to a guitar center and he saw on a wall, little like flyers with like a drummer flyer that said drummer willing to play with anyone in 8th grade. We actually started in freshman year playing like strictly like Blink and Green Day covers.
That's so
Oh,
And
that's too good.
little punk babies.
we started just cause Blink live videos were funny. Like that was the only reason why we were like, okay, let's do this.
That's the foundation of so many bands, though. It's like, oh, we started out like even in like POZ submissions, people are like, yeah, well, we started out playing Blink 182 covers, and then we realized we wanted to write our own stuff, and then we realized we were having a lot of fun with it, so we made a band, and now we're actually doing things, and it's like a really common theme. But I think that's so I don't know, it's so like precious to me. Like,
See,
little
what really like made me like, hey, I want to do this was I'm not sure how familiar you are. I'm sure you're all familiar with this band. I was watching Green Day play Woodstock
this band
94.
Green Day.
Yeah,
Maybe you've heard of them.
I don't know if you've heard of them.
They're a little obscure for my
Little
taste,
known
but
English
band.
outfit named the Beatles. It's kind of.
They were playing Woodstock 94, and
No, yeah.
have you guys ever seen the Mud Fight?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I thought
Many
that was
times.
the coolest shit I've ever seen in 6th grade. Like watching you moon the crowd and fucking throw mud at people. I thought that was the coolest shit I've ever seen. So that was just like, all right, I want to do this.
That's very cool.
Cool beans.
I mean, like going from, it's like seeing like I don't want to say like your idols, like you absolutely look up to them, but like it's a certain touching thing when like you look at an individual and be like, yo, I kind of want to do that same exact shit that they're doing, and then you go out and do it. And like you guys are talking about like going on tour and like wanting to like record like you guys work on your off time doing this. Like this is something that you guys are eat, sleeping, and doing. Like go to school. Next thing you know, oddities. And I don't know. That's like a
It's dedication. It's
it is
passion.
it is, and it's a beautiful thing to admire.
It's one of the only things I really care about that's going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
Cause like I'm at the point where it's like I don't really need to care about school anymore. Cause community college senior year, and it's one of the more fun things I get to do. Like the bands in the whole Virginia, Baltimore, D.C. area are fucking great, dude. Like fucking Random Holiday. Hey, I'm gonna plug you. Heavyweights. What's it called? I'm
Who's
blanking
that?
on bands. Joy. Cowabunga, but they broke up. Centerfolds. There's so many fucking good bands coming out of here, and I'd hate to sound like a hipster, but I don't know. There's something like really nice about having like my own little area of bands that like not many other people know. Not that I don't think they should get big, but it's nice to have my own little like area.
Right.
Yeah,
I
It's
mean,
like a community.
nice.
It's like a little
Yeah.
niche, and it's your
Absolutely.
space. And it's
and
important.
I think there's something to be said, like when bands that are in your little community grow up and sort of like become bigger bands and sort of expand to other communities. Like I had this with the Front Bottoms. Like I saw the Front Bottoms open up a local show that was just like a local bill, and and they played to maybe like 12 people or something like that, and then like about a year later, that then I find out that they're opening up for brand new at Bamboozle
Fucking yeah.
2012,
Fucking yeah.
and from there it went absolutely crazy. So I think that there is always that feeling of of when you have maybe not even breaking out to that like extent, because sometimes that is very far and few in between. But for bands that even just get big enough to do like regional touring and have like a consistent fan base outside of just like a little group of friends or whatever, that is really cool to see.
It's like pride. You're just like really proud of them, and
Right.
I love that. There was like a band from I'm from Connecticut. There was a band from a town called Milford, and their name was Shut Up and Deal. And they were like a band like I'd seen on flyers and seen a bunch of times, and like I booked them once. I booked at like this tiny little like town funded teen center. It's very like community oriented, and it was like the uncoolest place to be on a Friday night, but it was really important to me. So they played there a bunch of times, and then there was a program on Warp Tour called EIY, Earn It Yourself, and they did these industry scene meetups where basically all these people who were like interested in music business stuff and like the behind the scenes aspect of Warp Tour, you could like all meet up and you'd all walk backstage and you'd like have a Q&A session. And I went to one in like 2010, and they had Kevin Lyman stop by, which was like big deal of my life, and they were the band for that program. Like they weren't they were playing the tour and they were hosting these meetups, and I was just so proud of them. I was like, you guys are from the 203, that's amazing, and now you're on the whole entire Warped Tour, not just playing but like helping run this program and connecting people in all these cities and networking yourselves. Like it's just really important, and you just get really proud of them. And I think that's so great when bands grow organically like that, and it's just they've got such a solid fan base behind them. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's awesome. There was this little like Mexican place in DC called Casa Fiesta, and basically it was this Mexican restaurant that would basically, after they shut down, they'd let punk shows happen in their like upstairs that they didn't use. It was just it was just this like tiny empty room. And 3 years ago, it was before like The World Is a Beautiful Place got like huge, but they were still kind of big, like big enough that they could pack a room that could fill like 50, 60 people. And I managed to see them there, and it was crazy. It was cool.
That's a beautiful thing. Eric, you have another question?
Yeah. So Carlos, you mentioned Man Man earlier. Now, when they play live, they have a lot of percussion instruments, a lot of crazy instruments, and at one point, their singer will put a bowl on stage, and then when there's a big drop in the music, he throws a spoon into the bowl, and then they go back to playing. So my question to you is, who in your band plays spoon and cup? Your bass player, right?
No, actually, I mean, I don't want to sound like I'm full of myself, but I think I do, because I'm like,
You
I'm
think
the
you
one who
do?
I
That's
play
pretty
the spoon
specific.
bowl, dude.
You
I
think
play
that
the
you
spoon
play an
bowl.
instrument?
I'd like to pretend I play the guitar, but I probably am more like a mascot for my band. But I'm a damn good mascot, dude.
Like a
What the-
hype man.
There you go.
Damn good mascot.
Hype man.
I look
Perfect.
good.
How
on
many
stage.
clocks do you wear?
Only,
Are they large and blingy?
I like to keep it at 3.
3.
But
Well, yeah, that's otherwise it's just
go to
ridiculous.
3 clocks. That's completely before.
And if it's
you get
2, you're like,
ridiculous.
well, where's the third? So it's,
And how am I supposed to figure out what time it is if I'm only wearing 2 clocks?
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to have one for each time zone.
Yeah.
And
It only makes sense.
you wear your other 21 watches.
Dude, like, I got watches up to, like, my shoulders, dude. It's crazy.
You're like somebody selling counterfeit watches, except you're practical. They're just scumbags.
Efficient. You're efficient watch peddler.
I can't.
I don't-
with any of you guys.
Those are my watches.
Those are my watches.
I said you're like an efficient watch peddler who wears all of them instead of. Never mind. Never mind.
He
It's
said,
a
didn't
simile.
say that.
You wouldn't get it.
He said, "Fuck a salesman." They're mine. Alex, you got another question?
Yeah. Musically, where do you see the Oddities headed for whenever or whatever your next release is? Like, do you think you're going to stick sort of with a similar sound? How do you think that, how do you think your sound is going to progress within the next, like, touring cycle of whatever you put out?
See, we're always. I think we're always gonna have like sort of a pop center to us, because that's sort of what we've all kind of revolved around musically. But I think I'm just I've always dug bands that kind of sound like a train that's gone off the rails, like Arrogant Sons of Bitches, like some Every Time I Die. Like, shit like that is just sounds like, what the hell is going on?
Right, like when stuff gets, like, really hectic.
Yeah, I really like hectic music, and I think we're gonna head somewhere there, but, like, with that, somewhere like that, but with, like, a pop chorus, if that makes sense.
Right. Okay, I sort of see what you're saying.
That's, like, that is my end goal for writing songs. Be able to get, like, absolutely fucking, like, crazy, like I want to punch a baby in the face, but like you want to
I might
sing to
join
the
you in
baby
that soon.
afterwards.
That's intense.
That's like my end goal for writing music. I'm not quite there yet, but I'm working on it.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds like a lot like the Venetia Fair or Let Live or like the ongoing concept.
The ongoing concept. I just saw one of their music videos the other day. I might have actually posted it in Babeheads. Actually,
I posted. Wait, did I post it? I think I posted it.
it might.
Are
Okay,
you
well,
Ashley? Are you
No,
Alex?
I
No,
think I
Alex,
might
I
have been
posted it-
Ashley.
no, well, I know
No, we
I
have
posted
3
it in like
Ashleys.
my. I posted it in like on. We have like a little Facebook group for like my Syracuse friends who are into like my kind of music, like metal, hardcore, pop
Right.
punk, emo type stuff. And I definitely posted it there, and I was like, wherever you think this music video is going, it's not.
Right. That band is just like intense. Like I heard about them from the Defend Pop Punk group. Andrew actually posted about it. Andrew
Oh,
Farrell,
okay.
one of the admins over there.
Yeah.
He posted about it, and he's like, "This is absolutely crazy. Check it out." And so I gave it a listen, and I'm like, "Damn, So pretty far out of their stuff. So I So I too am a
Nomads.
fan of hectic music. Is basically what I'm getting at. So I am very excited to hear whatever the Oddities have up their sleeve. I bet it'll be very odd.
Yeah.
Ah,
But
so, speaking of hearing what Oddities has, it's actually coming close to the time of the show where we actually would showcase one of Oddities' songs. Carlos, would you like to give a description of the song that you have picked to have us play for you? Well, for everyone watching.
The song's called Dean off our new EP Nomads. It is basically our first attempt at writing songs for after a year of just gigging our last EP. It is basically the culmination of a year of listening to things that aren't pop punk, basically. If that makes sense. It's about a character in the show Supernatural.
oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, you just went there.
Tumblr girls are stoked for the song.
I don't even watch the show. My bassist loves it. Alright, let's jam.
Oh, here we go. As we get this settled, talk about the album cover real fast, because I know Lincoln was curious as to why you guys had chosen that as your album cover for the EP Nomads.
There's this girl who goes to George Washington University, Sophie McGear, and she does like some of the best art I've seen. That come from like band, and she had the and it was just the giraffe. So I showed it to my bandmates, and we thought it was like rad as hell. So we figured out what we'd add to it, and it became what it is.
Yeah, it definitely is really cool album artwork.
I wish I had some like deep story, but it just.
So Carlos, tell us what it do.
What it
do? Yeah. Just you know.
Yeah. I don't know how to respond to that.
Oh, damn it. It stopped. Fuck. All right. So Ollie, are we killing time while you're figuring that out? Okay, gotcha. Oh, that echo's weird.
That echo's strange.
It's gone.
It'll come back. It always comes back.
Yep.
Carlos, what's your favorite Against Me record?
Favorite Against Me record? Lately, I've been listening to a lot of their new album, which I think rules. But call me cliche, but I think reinventing Axl Rose.
Yeah, well, it doesn't have to be cliche if it's the best because it's the best. This is how super Against Me hipster I am. My friend told me he finally listened to Reinventing. I was like, oh, dude, here, let me give you this. So I made a mix. It's all the songs from Reinventing Axl Rose, except the ones from the acoustic EP are there instead, with the exception of Pints of Guinness, because that's awesome. Then the crime songs that they redid, put the original ones in there. And then I have 3 pre-production demos from Reinventing that I haven't found anywhere since, like, when it came out. That's how old I am. I was there, like, around that. Yeah, anyway.
You just dated yourself. You just carbon dated yourself.
Ooh.
You
know what? Actually, I would date myself because I believe that I am good enough and I'm
That's
worth it.
good. Self-esteem. It's important.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of this. It's like selfie culture. Just love yourself.
We're all about positivity here.
Get the fuck out. I meant to say it to Ashley, but Alex, you took it. Never mind.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Typically, like I usually have it on lock to an extent. I don't know what happened this week. I apologize, but we played the song, so hooray! There we go. That's a good thing.
Were those bendy leads a little Modest Mouse influenced, or was that from
Yeah,
another?
definitely, dude.
Yeah. I've been claiming that all the a lot of the modern baseball Tiger's Jaw type bands. I was like, oh shit, it's like Modest Mouse type pop punk, which I fucking love.
Have
So,
you heard Stick Up Kid covers some Modest Mouse song? I forget
Really?
which one.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. Modest Mouse is such a, or not Modest Mouse. Modern Baseball is like such a weird band though compared to like a lot of the other bands coming out now.
It
Because I don't
is.
really think they're like the whole, for lack of a better word, soft grunge thing like Tiger's Jaw.
Yeah, they don't fall into that category at all.
No, they don't.
But they're
they-
not
they-
quite the whole Wonder Year thing either.
They
Well, you
strike
know
the
they have,
perfect
like-
fell
balance.
into Tumblr core like so hard, but only because like I swear like the pop punk capital of the United States was Philly, and like everyone that was into pop punk had a Tumblr. And so when modern baseball started to like emerge out of their like popular shell, all the kids from Philly were like, oh, I
Talking
might like
about
pop
it.
punk, but I'm from Philly, and if you're from Philly, you like modern baseball. And so it became popular with all the popular Philly pop punk blogs, and
Right.
boom boom skadoosh, you got
You know
fucking
how-
modern baseball. And
you know how all those-
it's going with all the rest of Story So Far and all the rest of the popular Tiger's Jaw that came out of this era. So at least I
You
think
know how
that's what I
all
think
those
happened.
TV shows have like they have the show and then it's like the high school years. Like they go a little younger. That's what Modest Mouse is the main show, and Modern Baseball is basically Modest Mouse High School Edition. Which those two are like two of my favorite bands, so I'm happy about it. But that's just what it reminds me
That
of.
is the best, like,
That's so good.
the best thing I've ever heard. Which I think I might have said that about like 3 times this
Yeah.
entire.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's pretty perfect.
But this is the new best
Love
thing
modern
until somebody
baseball.
else says something.
Now, before we end the show tonight, I did have a question for Alex. What's up with the giant knot that's around your neck?
Oh, it's my headphones. They get all knotted up.
So you
They
just
get all
said,
knotted
fuck
up?
it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I don't bother. It's gonna get all knotted up anyway.
It's like when someone has dreads and they get real knotted and they're like, you know what, fuck it, I'm not even gonna take care of it, just let it grow.
Yeah, see, it's punk rock. That's what punk is. Leaving your headphones
Speaking
all
of-
knotted up.
You could be the
Speaking
hype
of
man
punk
for Bad
rock.
Brains.
Did you
Yeah.
guys see Fat Mike kicking that dude in the face?
I've seen that link all day.
I have not seen it once, and I was very
I have
concerned
seen
as
it.
to
It's
what
pretty.
happened.
It's one of the more brutal like fights.
Yeah, it's
videos
pretty
I've seen
uncalled
from
for,
that.
but
But
That's
what
just
happened
sort of-
though? Like what?
Like this dude,
I
they're
feel
playing
like I
a
haven't
song
gotten
and
a
this-
chance to watch the video though.
It
playing
kind of
the
puts some
song
of this
and-
other stuff in perspective with all the others jumping on stage. Things.
yeah, I
It's
would
just
have
not
actually
gonna do that.
suggested we talk about it. But I know that with talking about Joyce Manor
Yeah,
like
it's the it's the same
2 weeks
shit,
ago.
and it's
Yeah,
it's
yeah, but I
Nomads,
mean, like, the dude jumped on stage and he was like, he like put his arm around Fat Mike and was like trying to sing into the microphone, and Fat Mike shoved him to the ground, and then when he was on the ground, like kicked him in the face.
It was
A Falcon
brutal.
kick right in the face.
Like
It's nice.
this dude runs up and
That's not nice.
Mike just kind of hits him straight in the face, and he goes down, and then he just kicks him like in the teeth, and this
Yeah.
dude's like,
And then security takes him away, and then apparently, like, he tweets him after the show and says, "Sorry, man, I have like a bad like back or neck or something, and I
Bitch, please.
I went on the defensive, and instead I went on the offensive and
You
stuff."
know
And he's
what?
like,
I
"Let me
don't
buy
know
you a
if
beer next time, you come play a show." And the other kid was like, the kid who got like knocked out was like pretty cool about it.
Punk
He's like,
kids are used to.
yeah,
You
he's
get
like,
it sometimes. It fucking happens.
yeah,
See, here-
he's like,
I know,
"Hey, man,
it
it's
It happens.
Interesting.
Here's an interesting conversation that kind of needs to happen. There are other people that are totally okay with people jumping on stage and it's punk culture, but then
what happened?
I heard it too.
no.
I know, I'm
Well, if
kidding.
you did, then it was me sounding like a total hypocrite. We're not gonna talk about that. We're just gonna end the show.
Okay, nice. Bye.
Hey!
That was
Because I
weird.
realized where my question was leading, and be like, oh, is it? But it was gonna sound like, oh, of course you should be able to do that. But then again, I'd be the one kid I would literally be the kid that would get kicked in the teeth by Fat Mike and be like, yeah, I can totally do it. Punk rock. You're punk rock, right? smashed a beer over my face. And then I would have been like, oh guys, Fat Mike just punched me in the face and threw a beer on me. What the fuck's up with that? Punk rock, is it?
Punk credit.
Punk credit. Anyway, Carlos of the fucking Oddities was on the show today.
Hooray!
This was fucking great. I love it, and we're gonna keep tabs on you, cause again, like as we were saying that, like I was listening to the EP quite a few times before the show, and Alex was saying that he was listening to it, and I guess others were listening to it because whenever we have a guest on, we tend to listen to stuff, and I fucking enjoyed it. Like it's so far.
Thank you.
Like there have been like every consistent band we've had on here. I can literally say that I've liked the shit that they've been putting out. And like what Alex was saying, that was sounding like Tiger Jaw. It was right up my alley a little bit.
Exactly.
So we're gonna be stoked as to the weeks and months when you guys are gonna go on break and we're gonna go do more of your writing and recording. We're gonna be stoked, and we will definitely love to keep tabs on you guys. Before we end completely tonight, Ashley, this is actually the last week for the POZ.
I got it.
Okay, thank you.
This is the last week you can make a donation for Hope for the Day. Property of Zach and Hope for the Day have teamed together to put together a charity compilation, and it features 50 showcase artists, so 50 of my
Like who?
showcase band babies. For example, we have State Champs, we have McAllister, we have Jinwar, we have Dads, we have Turnover, we have Seaway, we have Broadside, we have Secret Plot to Destroy the Entire Universe, we have The Moms, we have My Goodness, we have so many bands. It's a band name. It's not like me exclaiming. We have so many great bands.
We
Sleep
have
on
all
It,
of
Real
that
Talk.
and more.
So many.
Do you have Led Zeppelin?
Unfortunately, they have not been on Property of Zach Showcase.
Completely undermines your entire compilation because there are
Thank
no...
you. Thank
No
you,
Led
Carlos
Zeppelin.
Oddities.
But you
Taylor
guys,
Swift pulled all of her
you
music
guys,
from
Down.
all the proceeds for this are gonna go to have hope
for the day.
For the day. You guys, it's gonna be for $5, 50 bands. It's gonna be available up until Friday. It's for suicide prevention in schools, correct?
It's for suicide
For-
prevention.
for,
All
for
their
music.
prevention projects and programs. They were on Warped Tour this year for their Summer of Hope campaign. It's basically an organization that is so deeply rooted in our music scene, and it helps utilize music and this weird little community that we're all so fond of as a mechanism for suicide and depression. And these people I'm working with from the organization are just the sweetest, and they've been awesome, and I just want to show them that this scene cares. And obviously I'm sure all of you guys have found family in this scene, like home away from home. So if you do make a donation, please let me know, and I will write you a poem and bake you cookies and give you a hug and love you forever. And just basically that would be really cool. And you can check it out at propertyofzach.bandcamp.com. It'll be up there until Friday at 11:59 p.m. Eastern time. So yeah.
All right, so that's that. From everyone here, Carlos, on behalf of Babetalk, we thank you for coming on the show and coming
Thank
to
you.
talk
Thank
about
you
Oddities.
for having me.
Alex, Ashley.
My name is
My
Eric.
sister just walked up here. And then
Allie, Ashley, Alex.
It's okay. I'm one of 3 daughters, and all of our initials are AA. Like, all of our names start with A, so it happens.
oh, God. Oh,
You're not supposed to tell people that. Keep that shit secret.
Eric, no one wants to hear anything you have to say, so...
What about
all
this?
right, so
night.
good night, everybody.
Bye!
See you later.